Commander is the most popular format for Magic the Gathering, and arguably the most popular way to play trading cards, period. I mean, where else can you have Godzilla do a tombstone piledriver on Spider-Man, while Doctor Who is cheating in cards through time travel, and some old head dragon player keeps shooting you for 1 damage? A lot of other card game communities have tried to piggyback on the success of Commander, building their own similar formats. Pokemon has Gym Leader Challenge, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has Domain format, and the One Piece community has been trying out the 4 Emperors format. But what is Commander? What makes Commander so fun? Is it better than the other Magic the Gathering formats, and should you get into it? I'm not going to explain how to play Magic, so if you want a refresher, check out my video on which TCG is right for you. Firstly, what is Commander? Commander is a 4-player format. You have a 99-card main deck and a 1-card commander. Your commander can be any legendary creature or vehicle, and exists outside of your deck. Your commander lives in the command zone, a special place only your commander can reside. You're allowed to play your commander at any time in the game, so long as you have the mana to play them. If your commander dies, you can either send them to the grave, or put them back in the command zone, but you'll have to pay an extra 2 colorless mana to bring them back out again. This stacks, so if your commander dies 3 times, and you put them back in the command zone 3 times, they'll cost an extra 6 mana to bring out. Your 99-card main deck is made up of singleton cards, meaning you only get to play 1 copy of any card in your deck except for basic lands. The exception is cards that say you can play any number of this card in your deck, such as Rat Colony. The purpose of this is to add variance to the game, increasing variability. It allows you to play tons of different cards instead of just jamming the 20 to 30 strongest cards in your colors into your deck. Unlike other Magic formats, you start with 40 life, and the goal is the same to bring your opponent's life to 0. But there's another win con. If you deal 21 damage to an opponent with your commander, then they lose the game. Keep in mind there are 4 people at the table, so it's not 21 damage from 3 commanders, but 21 damage from a single commander. Other than that, it plays almost the same as any other Magic format, except the card pool is massive. Every card ever printed, excluding Unfinity cards and the ban list, is going to be legal for play. There isn't an extensive ban list either for Commander, compared to a lot of other formats. Partially because the format is all singleton, which means you're not going to see the same broken combo every game, but also because it is a casual format. It is designed to be played with buddies around a table and not to be taken way too seriously. That means you get to play some silly strong cards that are banned in a lot of other formats, such as Sol Ring, Yawgmoth's Will, Skull Clamp, and Wheel of Fortune. What makes Commander so fun is you can do practically anything in the format. The card pool of tens of thousands of cards means there's practically no limit of what you're capable of building. There's different types of decks in Commander. I'm not going to go over all of them right now because I don't want them to be 40 minutes long, but I'll give you a couple of the most popular strategies. First off, we have Voltron. Voltron is all about uniting your board into one big unstoppable dude. Like its namesake, Voltron makes the biggest guy. You'll have your commander out and aim to equip it with as many possible things, such as Swiftfoot Boots, a Buster Sword, and a Colossus Hammer, and maybe some enchantments to boost it up as well. You might choose Cloud X Soldier or Captain America First Avenger, as these cards can freely equip cards to them when they enter or when you go to the combat phase. The main idea is you get one indestructible big statted guy who does commander damage and can knock out anyone in the game with a single hit. Next is Group Hug, whose main goal is to have everyone else at the table interact with each other and largely ignore you because you're just the nice guy handing out free gifts. In Group Hug, you might play cards like Miss Bumbleflower, who give opponents card draw and give herself counters. More popular as a commander is probably Nekuzar the Mindraiser, which has players draw an extra card at the beginning of the turn, but every player takes 1 damage every time they draw. Arguably, you might call Nekuzar more of a group slug deck where you make everyone take damage at the same time, but they're similar-ish. The whole concept of Group Hug is to give out little gifts during the game. Your opponents don't want to kill you because they like getting little gifts in card draw, counters, and special abilities. Then Group Hug swoops in at the end of the game with all their advantage, and then they're going to destroy you. Next we have Pillow Fort. I've got to give it up to the Magic community, they've got good names for their decks. A strategy that has you build a board that punishes or de-incentivizes your opponents from attacking you is perfectly named Pillow Fort. A commander for this deck might be Asperia, Supreme Judge, that lets you draw cards every time you are attacked, and can be backed up by Teferi's Moat to lock out entire colors from hitting you. Decks like this might also run fog effects to just disappear for a little bit, but usually they prefer to have enchantments or blanket effects that will last for more than a single turn, like Ghostly Prison, that is literally just forcing your opponent to pay the troll toll if they want to come anywhere near you. The Spellslinger strategy says, screw creatures, let me just cast instants and sorceries until somebody dies. Niv Mizzet Perun is maybe the best example of this. It draws cards when anyone plays instants and sorceries, and deals damage when you draw cards. back them up with as many good spells as you can, like Lightning Bolt, Snap, Pongify, and you are looking golden. Niv Mizzet also makes all your removal spells +1s. Instead of trading a card like Lightning Bolt for an opponent's creature, you do that and then draw more cards and ping an opponent for 1 damage, or you can just shoot one of their little 1/1 guys. So, normally called a theft deck, I refer to this strategy as let me borrow that, because every time my friend plays a card that steals my stuff, he always says, hey, let me borrow that. It's a super fun deck to play with and super annoying to play against. You might run a commander like Gonti, Canny Inquisitor, Mariki, Barit, or send triplets to get access to your opponent's cards. And then there are a ton of cards in Magic that say, let me borrow that. Zidane, Tantalus Thief, Captivating Crew, and Mob Rule, just to name a few. If you really like playing with other kids' toys when you're little, then this is the deck strategy for you. Finally, we have Tribal, my favorite deck strategy. Tribal is fun because you build synergies between the creature type in your deck. One of my commander decks is Dragon, a dragon-focused deck that aims to drop big bodies like Goldspan Dragon, Bladewing the Risen, Earthquake Dragon, and Ancient Silver Dragon, as much as possible, as frequently as possible. There are also Sliver Tribal decks, Human Tribal decks, Vampire Tribal decks, etc. and so on. I think that Tribal is a great strategy if you're just getting into the game. Decks are very simple and streamlined. If you have dragons, summon dragons. If you have slivers, summon slivers. And you just go from there. It's a great starting point for any new player. This isn't even half of the possible strategies you could be playing. You have combo decks, you have artifact decks, you have token generation, you have stacks, aristocrats, and so many other strategies. But the 6 that I mentioned make up a big chunk of the decks you can expect to see when you start playing. The point I'm trying to show here is there are countless ways to play the game. If you have any interest in Commander, I can guarantee you there's a strategy that will fit your playstyle. There's a ton of freedom with the playstyle of your deck and very few restrictions for deck building, period. But one really big restriction for deck building is Rule 0, or the bracket system. Rule 0 is the rule that before you and the 3 other players start playing a game of Commander, you all agree that your decks are roughly the same power level. This is to make sure that one person isn't playing a Lord of the Rings pre-con they bought 30 minutes ago, while someone else is playing a deck that aims to give everyone 10 poison counters by turn 3. Essentially the equivalent of making sure everyone has brought a knife to the knife fight, and no one is packing thermonuclear missiles in their back pocket. Rule 0 is hard to quantify. Mostly you and your friends at the table need to be honest about what your deck aims to do, how quickly it will do it, and how consistently it does it. Wizards of the Coast has tried to outline this with their bracket system. The bracket system divides games into 5 levels. 1 to 3 is casual social play with some rules, and 4 to 5 is basically no holds barred, the floodgates are open, let the bullshit commence. If you are just getting into the game, it can be hard to know how strong or weak your deck is, so it's best just to say you're not sure your power level and play some games to see where you're at. The bracket system will tell you specific cards that kind of put your deck into bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and essentially the stronger cards put you into a higher bracket. But if you're playing with friends, you can kind of learn as you go, like, oh, this deck is stronger than that deck, and I should bring this out for the higher power games and this for the lower power games. Another important aspect of the game is Universes Beyond, essentially collaborations that Wizards of the Coast does with other franchises for Magic. Magic has taken Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, Warhammer, Final Fantasy, even Sonic the Hedgehog, and made them into official Magic cards. This means you can take whatever nerdy franchise you're into and build a whole deck around it. I'm probably not the first person to say this, but it really has become the Fortnite-ification of Magic. They'll put in skins for every possible franchise they can get their rights to, which draws in a huge crowd. And yes, before you ask, they've done Fortnite and Magic already. If you have any nerdy hobby, chances are sooner or later there's going to be a Magic card just for you. I mentioned earlier that you won't be able to see the same broken combo every single game. That's not technically true. Some decks have ways to do infinite combos using their commander and one of 10 cards in their deck that they aim to find as fast as possible. This is where we move into the competitive side of Commander. Despite being a casual format, there is a competitive community for Commander. These players aim to optimize their deck as much as possible, playing as many strong cards as possible. Personally, I don't enjoy competitive Commander. The format is best enjoyed as a party game. You should still try to win the game, but because it's a singleton format, you can never fully prepare for what cards your opponent might play in a game except for their commander. There's a lot of variability present, and variability is the enemy of competition, or at least of skilled competition. You want to be as consistent as possible with a competitive deck so you can perform perfectly every single time. And part of the fun of Commander is that your deck is going to change every single time you play it. Now, some people might love the competitive side of Commander. Maybe that's even you, and good on you for it. I personally enjoy the format most when it is casual, but I'm not going to tell you how to enjoy your cards. If you want to check out competitive Commander, go right ahead. Personally, I would recommend playing Standard or Pauper instead. But you do you. There's something for everybody in Commander, whether you like casual play or competitive play more. Now, is it better than other Magic formats? The cop-out answer and the correct answer is it depends what you want out of Magic. If you just want a casual experience to play with friends once every week or two, Commander is perfect for you. Commander is not good for 2 players though, as one deck will usually get their wheels spinning a lot faster than the other, so it becomes very unfun. Commander is balanced by there being 4 players, each with their own removal spells to keep one person from getting too far ahead from everybody else too early in the game. If you want a 2-player format, then Commander probably isn't for you. I'd recommend checking out Standard or Pauper, or if you really want competition, play chess, I guess. Now, if you want to get into it, what do you need? First off, you need 3 other people to play with. Most local game stores have a designated Commander night, and Commander players usually are super chill and super nice, and will let you hop in if you just ask. It does require you talk to strangers though, and make new friends. Terrifying, I know. Secondly, you need a deck. There are tons of Commander precons out there, pre-constructed Commander decks that are ready to play with right out of the box. Do your research and see what decks are out there before you go and buy one. Even if it's your favorite character from Doctor Who, maybe you don't like the playstyle of that deck, so check it out beforehand. If you want to see how the format plays, I recommend checking out Game Nights, a high-budget, high-quality series that showcases Commander games in a very digestible way. But if you've got a deck and people to play with, you're good to go. Commander is an incredibly fun format, one that I play all the time with my friends and cannot recommend enough that you get into. Eventually there's going to be some Universes Beyond set that will get you interested in the game. They've covered D&D, SpongeBob, Sonic, Spider-Man, Avatar, so they're probably coming for your favorite franchise next. Other Magic formats are fantastic, but if you want to have a fun casual game, then Commander is where it's at. Thank you so much for watching. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, it would mean a ton, and let me know in the comments down below what video I should do next.